Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel Faith. If you are a new visitor, you're welcome. I am super delighted to have you here. Please click the subscribe button before we continue. Today we are talking about another very pivotal topic, a topic that relates or resonates with 9 to 5ers and everyone really. Either you work remotely, you work hybrid, or you work fully on site. There's something that we all struggle with. I'm guessing some words are coming to your mind. If you said procrastination, you're right. And if you said productivity, you're right. So today we'll be discussing how to stay productive at work, or how to stay optimally productive at work. And I'm narrowing down to work because this is for HR, career, and lifestyle. So let's talk about hitting those goals in a very productive manner. Are we ready? Okay, you know what to do here. Grab a bottle of water, grab your notes, your iPhone notes, your pen and jotter, and let's learn together. Welcome back. So let's roll. People talk about having a to-do list, which is like mandatory. I have jotters, journals. My friends just bought me daily task reminder, weekly task reminder. But do you know what's more exciting than a to-do list? A must-do list. So when you have, say you write like 5 things or 7 things or 10 things, and I will also get there about setting goals in bits. But you wake up on a Monday morning, like Rema said, ready to eat your ethers and ready to smash your goals, and then you have a long list of 10 things. For example, say you're an investment analyst. Don't worry, I'm not using marketing today. You're an investment analyst, so you have 10 things. Research about Nigerian macroeconomy, find out the current interest rate, find out the current inflation rate, write a report on the FMCG industry, send reports to clients, start working on MPL. So you have those 10 things, and you are very energy. You've gone to take your cup of coffee. Sadly, no coffee is sponsoring us here, so I'm not going to mention any brand. Whatever your favorite brand of coffee is. And you're excited, and then you come back to your desk first. Say your laptop had issues, and then you eat the laptop, spend like 30 minutes doing that. And so you come back, still full of energy, and you start with writing a report about FMCG, for instance, and then while you are doing your research, you hit a roadblock. You ask your friend, who has Bloomberg access? Who has Bloomberg access? None of your friend has Bloomberg access at the moment. You are exhausted on a Monday morning. You are discouraged on a Monday morning. And it's just one out of your 10 to-do lists. Guess what? That write a research on FMCG might not be the most important thing. Writing a report on inflation rate and employment and interest rate might be the most important thing. But because you like FMCG now, you like Milo, Bonfita and Co, you are so excited and you picked the most difficult task, and that just dance your moment for the rest of the day. Right, so always have a must-do list, not a to-do list. So you can write a to-do list if that's what works for you, and then highlight that out of these 10 things, these are the 5 that before I sleep tonight I must get done. What it does is to connect with your brain and just realign your priority, and that way you're able to achieve much more, but much more impact. So you're not just writing a long list of things, you're writing a list of things that is impactful, so that when you execute those must-do lists, you can pat yourself on the back and tell yourself you did a good job. So today, change your to-do list to must-do list. Number 2, prioritize your biggest tasks first. Note that I did not say prioritize your most difficult tasks first, because sometimes your biggest task is really not the most difficult. So you have 5 things. So it's like the 20-80 principle, right? So you have 5 things to do, but there is one thing that if you close out, is like 80% of your things is closed out. Why not start it first? Please note that this rule is not universal. I'm sharing things that have worked for me, things that have worked for people around me. Different things have worked for me at different intervals, because I'm going to share another rule that is sort of contradictory to prioritizing your biggest tasks first. But sometimes I wake up and I look at my must-do list. I write a to-do list, mark some at must-do, and then I look at all the must-do. I'm like, which one will I be happy if I get done? Which one will my manager be happy if I get done? Which one will my team be happy if I finally get done? There is one project right now that I've been on for 2 weeks, and I know that if I finally type done and everybody sees that it's done and our manager had sent, my direct report will be very happy. And that's what I'm going to face today, on this blessed Monday morning. So which of your to-do list is the biggest? Which one has that? Which is that 20% that has an 80% impact? Do you want to attack it first? Right. So the next point should be breaking down big tasks. So let me explain what I mean. On my to-do list, I have wrap-up policies, right? Wrap-up policies is a one-liner. Anybody looking at my to-do list, like, oh, wrap-up policies. But guess what? Wrap-up policies, my main: finish learning and development policy, edit loan policy, touch on gadget policy. Like there might be like 7 or 8 policies under wrap-up policies. So how do you then write a to-do list? You don't just write wrap-up policies. You write wrap-up policies, big task, then small task, revise this, edit this, update this, learn this. That way, your brain connects with the size of the work you want to do. So wrap-up policies, for example, might take me 2 hours because I'm reviewing like 7 or 8 policies under it, versus do a slide presentation, maybe do a slide for today's meeting by 4 p.m. Doing a slide might cost me 15 minutes. It is very unfair to write what will cost me 15 minutes and what will cost me 2 hours on the same to-do list as something. So always break down your task. Your task is, very simple thing. Your task is organize Twitter space for Friday. So you write that as a task. And this also helps for those, again, these are the HR channels. So for those who sets OKRs, objective key results, this is also a way to break down your key results. Don't just write one big bogus objective. And your manager, at the end of 3 years, your manager will now come and say, oh, you not achieve your goal. Or for those that do weekly review or monthly review, you say, oh, they did not achieve your goal. If your goal is land Tomike, I love Tomike a lot. This is not a free PR for her. Land Tomike Adioye as an influencer partner. It's a big goal. So you write that as one objective or one to-do list. I'm sorry, you just shot yourself in the leg. Because to land Tomike as your influencer partner, you have to reach out to Tomike on Instagram, reach out to Tomike on LinkedIn, reach out to Tomike on Twitter, send TikTok DM to Tomike, look for Tomike Adioye's manager, send email to Tomike Adioye's manager. In fact, you want to take it a step further and say, ask for who has Tomike Adioye's contact on my WhatsApp. You want to break the exact action points down so that your to-do list does not look like make Tomike Adioye an influencer partner and then you move on, when in reality there are probably like 10 or 11 action points on that to-do list. Do you understand? So when you have big tasks, always ensure that you break them down to small tasks. Now, next, set small objectives. I feel like that just corroborated, the thing I said. So instead of saying, set, hire or get Tomike Adioye as your influencer partner, break it down. These are the things, these are the steps, these are the things that. So under that big thing now, when you say you've reached out to the manager, you sent an email, you said everything, you can mark them as done. And when they reply, if I was the one writing that to do it, I will not mark them as done because I've sent it and I've not gotten a reply. I might expand my to-do list and say send, wait for reply, acknowledge the reply. That's how detailed I write my to-do list, so that in my mind, I don't think I've sent an email to Tomike's manager and that's the end of it. That's not actually the end. That's 50% task done. I need them to see the email, I need them to acknowledge, and I need them to bring it back. Okay, so we talked about having a to-do list. We talked about having a must-do list, prioritizing your biggest task, breaking down your biggest task, and setting small objectives. Now, this rule is not my rule, but there was a time that I told my friend that, hey guys, I'm struggling with productivity, give me tips. And one of the tips that stuck with me, my friend Oriemojela gave me, is the 2-minute rule. I like to call it the 3-minute rule because maybe because of the uniqueness of my role and my life generally, I don't think there is anything that I can do in 2 minutes. But either it's the 2-minute rule or the 3-minute rule or the 5-minute rule. What it says is that pick the easiest thing first. So you've written this long to-do list, and at the top, which is something that can be on my to-do list, is reply email from consultants. You can reply an email in 5 minutes. So why don't you start with that instead of starting with spending 2 hours researching FMCG reports? There's a to-do list that says acknowledge your manager's reports. Why don't you just straight up and acknowledge that and move on? So think of things when you are struggling, and this one is when NEPA has shanked you and you spent hours queuing in petrol station if you're in Nigeria, or the weather is at 0 degrees if you're in UK, or there was an hurricane if you're in Canada, or it snowed throughout the morning if you're in Toronto or Vancouver, and you are really struggling. Just look at that to-do list or must-do list that you have written. What is the thing I can do in 5 minutes? Do it. What's the thing I can do in 10 minutes? Do it. What's the thing I can do in 15 minutes? Do it. Remember, like I said, that these are like rules. You don't have to pick one and pick one, because this obviously negates what I said about picking your biggest task first. But sometimes, the day is bad. You had a fight with your mom overnight. Your boyfriend broke your heart, or your girlfriend broke your heart, and you are not in the mental space to deal with the biggest task first. Look at the list. What are the things I can do in 5 minutes? Bam. What are the things I can do in 15 minutes? Bam. What are the things that if I put my phone on lock for 30 minutes and I will get there? I put my phone on lock for 30 minutes, I can get done to it. Just look at those small tasks, right? Especially for days that you are not up to it. You'll be surprised. By the time you do 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 15 minutes here, you might not have ticked your biggest task, but you have ticked 80% of your task, right? Okay. Are we still together? Have I said anything that resonated with you? Yes. If yes, type yes in the chat box. Let's see. So the next is the 45-15 rule. I like this. I like it a lot because I am slightly restless and also easily distracted, right? So I like what I do is, and maybe I can just say this in passing, maybe that's the next point I'll talk about. So what I do is I put my phone on focus mode for 45 minutes. I use an app called Flora. It's free for iPhone users, and I'm very sure there are a lot of productivity apps, right? So I put my Flora for 45 minutes, and I'm not basically touching my phone for 45 minutes, so I have to focus on work for 45 minutes. So the way Flora works is it even sets the ratio for you. So if you put 45 minutes, it will automatically give you 15 minutes break. If you put 1 hour, it will automatically give you 20 minutes break. So at the end of 45 minutes, it gives me an alarm. I pick up my phone, see what's going on Twitter, who is fighting themselves, who is saying Wale Soyinka's English is hard, and immediately it's 15 minutes. My timer tells me it's 15 minutes, and I go back and I do another 45 minutes. I do this for days that I have like long projects to execute, and I know that if I bury my head in it, I'm going to have headache, right? So 45-15 rule. The next one is Pomodoro technique. I am very sure that if you're a consultant and you're watching this, you know this rule. So Pomodoro is a translation of tomato. I think. I hope that I am not saying nonsense. But yeah, what does the Pomodoro technique say? It's pretty close to 45-15 rule, except that it says it's 25-5. So you work for 25 minutes and you take 5 minutes break. And when you do that for 4 cycles, you take 15 minutes break. I don't like it because because of the peculiarity of my role and what I do every day, I think 25 minutes is too short to execute some things or to give my brain the endorphins of experiencing 5-minute rest. But hey, if it works for you, why not? So in fact, you can do an experiment. Try the 45-15, try the 25-5 and see where you achieve more productivity. Okay, are you enjoying this? I am enjoying it. I hope you are too. This next set is for remote workers. I know it's hard to be a remote worker. Now, if you're a Nigerian, I know it's harder to be a remote worker. If you're not fighting, especially if you're not in band A, if you're not in band A, you're fighting NEPA and petrol, and your mother is calling you to say, "She put the laptop." I'm an right. For those that don't understand you, but it was a tweet that like someone's mother was telling her that this one they are carrying laptop on the Monday morning. We have work to do at home. So your parents don't understand that remote work is full work. So how then do you survive? One is to go to a workspace. And going to a workspace might not even mean going to a workspace. Going to a workspace might mean going to another friend's place that is also a remote worker and has a better workspace. When I used to work remotely, I used to visit like 2 of my friends they even have work room where they have a long table and study and 3 monitors. Shout out to Cornelius. And I go there to work and I am more productive there. And if you have the money or the financial resources, you can actually go to an office workspace, right? And HR is watching this. One of the things that you can do, even for remote workers, is to occasionally ask people to work from the same place once a month. There are different workspaces in Lagos. And if you're watching this outside, I know there are workspaces in Akure because my younger brother schooled in Akure. I know there are workspaces in Ibadan because I've tried to use workspace in Ibadan. I know there are workspaces in Ife. So those are sort of states. There are workspaces in Abuja too. All those states I've visited there and I've used workspaces there. I think there's a workspace in Ekiti. I have to confirm with my friend, but I think so, in like Ekiti Central. So if you are staying in a place that is accessible to public workspace, please go there. If you are not, go to your friend's place that you know is more organized and has a better home. Maybe it might even be your friend that is just our own parents or his own parents know that remote work time is remote work time. But it's very important that you work in an environment. Another thing, which is sort of corroborating that, is your workspace. Ensure that it looks like work. Don't have workspace where there is toothpaste here, cream here, your bathing soap here. Let your workspace look like your workspace. Your laptop, your work jotter, a book that you can flip when you're bored. Ensure that your environment enhances work. If you like flowers, put flower there. If you like, I have a friend who has like sticker. Look at your work today. You are working so that your children will not be poor like you. You know, she has all those very hilarious but very interesting motivational quotes just right in front of her laptop. Like, so it's on a frame, right? So as she's working, if she's tired, she just looks up and see you are working hard so that your children will not be in sakpa like you are. I know she continues working. It sounds very hilarious, but that's what motivates her. So the summary of this point is create your work environment to enhance your productivity. I will say that again. Create your work environment to enhance your productivity. This is getting too long and I do not like it, so I'm going to wrap up. Now, I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is people underestimate the importance of putting this thing on focus mode. Especially if you're a social media addict, any platform. Me, my addiction is Twitter. I don't even deny it. That Twitter, I am very addicted. At this point, you know, they say know yourself, to yourself be true. I am very addicted to Twitter. So my favorite app on this one is my Flora app, especially on work days. I just focus. When I focus, I cannot open Twitter, right? So it's very important that you know what is in corporate, what we call it a blocker. For you, a blocker might be watching movie overnight. Yes, I said what I said. You know that if you watch movie overnight, you are going to be groggy when you wake up. So why are you watching overnight? Why can't you wait till weekend to watch Emily in Paris or Vikings or Love in Colors or whatever you're watching? Why are you watching it overnight? For you, your blocker is eating heavy food in the morning. Why did you order amala? Yes, you. Because you woke up and started craving amala and you are your period, so you ordered amala, right? Don't do what looks like a blocker. Don't block yourself from productivity. Lastly, last point, I promise. For those that are 9 to 5ers, this is not for freelancers. Even for freelancers, you can also try this. I do it a lot. Always learn to block out time on your calendar. And I say this because people collaborate a lot in 9 to 5 and all that. So you wake up and you're an auditor, for instance. You are waking up today to audit the financial statement of Adeyemi Mo and Sons Industry. Block that time on your calendar, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Edit Adeyemi Mo and Sons financial statement. Do you know what that does for you? One, none of your colleagues will be able to put the time there because you blocked it. Two, because it is on your calendar and that is what you're supposed to be doing at that time, your conscience will prick you if you don't do it. Do you understand? I'm going to end in the famous quote of the great philosopher, Salem King. It's okay to be lazy. What is not okay is to not know that you are lazy. So I have given you a lot of tips. You can decide to do 45-15. And if you know that your brain is too playful to focus up for 45 minutes, please do Pomodoro 25-5. If you're an hard worker, you can decide to pick the biggest tasks first. And if you know that you're a lazy person, start with 2-minute rule or 3-minute rule. I intentionally gave all these tips and all these asks and not specifically say this is better than this because I know that different kind of people will be watching this video. You might be an extremely focused like someone I know. I might be a lazy person like me. Whatever works for you. I hope that you find a tip that resonates with you and your productivity gets improved exceptionally after watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please share. Remember, our goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers by 2029. So share with your friends, share with your colleagues at work. Yes. If you're a manager, share this with your direct reports. You're an analyst, share it with your team. Share it on your Slack channel. Let people be asking, who is this Emmanuel Faith guy? Yes. Share to your friends, colleagues, church members, fellowship members, exes, enemies, feminists. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe if you're a new visitor here. Till the next time you see me in your face, I remain your favorite HR buddy, Emmanuel Faith. Signing out.